Brachot Daf Yud Daled, we're holding the Brisa, the second line from the top. Tanya Nami Yochi. The Gemara is repeating what we learned yesterday. Akira es Shema upoga boy Rabbi ugodol yemenu. Somebody who's saying Shema and he meets his Rebbe. Baprokim, between the sections, Shol mipnei hakovod. He can give shalom. He can ask him how he is to an honourable person. Ve'in tzorach lo meshul meishiv. Can answer back as well, of course. Uve'emtza, and in the middle of the section of Kriya Shema Shol mipnei hayiro. He can only say hello to somebody who is scared of. And of course he can answer back to somebody who is scared of. Dibur Rabbi Meir. That is Rabbi Meir's opinion. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Be'emtza, in the middle of the section, he can give shalom to somebody who is scared of, and he can answer even for only honourable reasons. But between the sections of Shema, he can give shalom to somebody who he has to honour, and he can answer everybody. He can answer shalom to everybody who gives him shalom. Boy minei achi tano debei Reb Chia. Achi tano asked Reb Chia, Mi Reb Chia, b'halil u'b'megillah, when you're in the middle of Halil and Kriyas HaMegillah on Purim, ma'u sheyafsik, can you make interruptions there to say shalom, to say hello? Omrin on kal v'choyma, do you make a kal v'choyma that what? That Kriya Shema D'Oraisa, if Kriya Shema is Mid'Oraisa and you're allowed to, poisek, Halil D'Rabbanon Miboya, Halil which is only Mid'Rabbanon, of course you can make a hefsek. Or you don't know. Presuming Nissa Odif. There, by Megillah, you've got, by Megillah and Halil, you're advertising the nest. Maybe it's more important not to make interruption. Or Malay, no, poisek ve'mekach klum, of course it's the same as Kriya Shema, and you can give shalom in middle. Omar Rabba, Yomim Shayochid Gomer Ben Halil, the Yom Tov, on the days we finish the whole Alei, like Chanukah, and Sukkot and Pesach, between the sections, you can make a hefsek to say shalom, or but in the middle of the section, you mustn't make a hefsek, in the middle of the section of the Halei, in the middle of the Mizmorim. But Yomim She'ena Yochid Gomer is Halei, Rosh Chodesh, that we don't finish Halei, we only say half Halei, you can even make a hefsek, you can even make an interruption even in the middle of saying the Halei. Rav Shaba came to Ravina. The Yomim She'ena Yochid Gomer Memnes Halil. It was a day. It was a Chodesh. They didn't finish Halil. V'lo Posikle, and he didn't say hello to him in the middle of Halil. Says the Gemara, no. Shani Rav Shaba D'Rechoshev LeAlei Ravina. Ravina didn't honor him enough to pass him for himself. They can say hello to him in the middle of the Halil. It wasn't honourable enough for him. L'maisa la'alocha we paskin that the days that you finish Halil, you can only answer Omei Yeshmei Rabbo and Kedusha, and these important things, and the Omein after, the end of the Omein after Omei Yeshmei Rabbo, it's got the same din as Birkas Kriya Shema, which means between Baruch and Shemona Esra. They can only answer Omei Yeshmei Rabbo and Baruch and Kedusha. Boy minei Ashyon Tana Debei Rav Ami. Mirab Ami. That's the shayla for Rav Ami. Ashori b'taynis. Somebody who's fasting. Ma'u she'yitoim. Can he taste the food? Can he taste it? Did he accept himself not to eat and drink, and he's not eating and drinking? If he's fasting, he doesn't want to have any benefit from food. He's benefiting him, he's tasting. If he doesn't swallow it, then he can taste it even when he's fasting. The poskim stay here, they're only talking about a single fast from a single person. We're not talking about Tanis Tzibur. The Tanis Tzibur is more strict. Tanis, when the whole Klal Yisrael is fasting, you mustn't even taste, and that's how we pass in the Mishnah Berurah. Tani Nami Yochi, the Brisa says, Mat Emes, a person who is tasting the cholent on Erev Shabbos, Eina to the Bracha, you don't need to make a Bracha. Bashori V'Tainis, Toyin Ve'im B'Kach Klum, and somebody who has his own Tanis, his own fast day, he can taste, and he doesn't need to worry about the fast. Rav Ami Rav Asi Tomu at Shir Raviyas, Rav Ami Rav Asi, they used to taste until the Shir Raviyas, that's by drinks. And the Mishnah Berurah says by food it's still kazayis, you can taste it and you don't need to make a bracha at all. There's a machlokes of showing him here, if we're talking about here when he spits it out after you taste it, or even when you swallow it. So the Mishnah Berurah says when you're tasting the cholent on Friday, that you should have in mind as well to eat it and not just to taste, and then you can make a bracha according to all opinions. Because otherwise it's a big machlokes, and the best thing is to have in mind to eat and not just to taste alone. Amarav. Somebody who gives shalom to his friend, he says hello before davening, he's made avodah zorah. Don't do things before davening before you've said hello to Hashem. that you're giving a hello to somebody before Hashem. Mosiv Rav Sheishes, but we learned before that Prokim Sholim B'nei HaKoved U'Meishiv. And Krishma is before Shemoneh Esrei. How can you say hello? Says the Gemara, Tirgem Rav Abba v'Mashkim Lepischoy. We're talking about here, the Issa is only when you go specially to your friend's front door to say hello to him before davening. If you meet your friend on the way, then it's less of a problem. Lamaisa, the Mishnah Berurah says, we paskin that if you meet your friend on the way to Shacharis, then you should nod your head. You shouldn't say hello the same way you say hello every morning, because before Shacharis you should make it differently. Says the Gemara after the brackets. Omar Rav Idi bar Avin, Omar Rav Yitzchak bar Ashiov. Also, a person mustn't do his own affairs before davening. Shenema tzedek if lefonov yahalech, v'yosim l'derech pomov. After you've done tzedek lefonov yahalech, you davened, then you do your own affairs. Omar Rav Idi bar Avin, Omar Rav Yitzchak bar Ashiov. Kala mispalel, somebody who davens first. And then he goes to business. Then the Eibishter helps you the whole day in business. But Chas v'Sholom, somebody who starts business before davening, then he has less siyata d'shmaya. Omar Rav Yoina, Omar Rav Zera, kol alon shivas yomim b'roi chaloim. Nikrora, somebody who goes through a whole week without dreaming, he's not a good person. Shenem avosavea yolim bali pocket ro. Al tikri sovea elot sheva. 7 days without a dream is no good, because it seems like he's not getting messages from heaven. He learns it different. The pshat is somebody who makes himself satisfied from Torah. He listens to a good cheer before he goes to sleep. Afterwards he goes to bed. The Eibishter doesn't give him any bad basuros. He only hears good things. Somebody who goes to bed satisfied from Torah, then he only hears good things. Then the Mishnah mentions Elohim ben Aprokim, when you're allowed to make the hefsek. Omar Rabbi Bo and Rabbi Yochanan, halacha Rabbi Yehuda. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, which says in the Mishnah, you shouldn't make interruption, you shouldn't make a hefsek between the end of Kriya Shema and Emes, and that's how we do. That's why we say Hashem Elokeichem Emes. Omar Rabbi Bo and Rabbi Yochanan, my time with Rabbi Yehuda. Why shouldn't you make a hefsek? Because the pasuk says, Vashem Elokim Emes. It's a pasuk in Yirmiyah. So since it says the pasuk of Vashem Elokim Emes, so we put the word Emes straight after Krishma. Now the Gemara asks the Shaila, Choyzavoy me Emes, or Eino Choyzavoy me Emes. When you start the Yatziv and Nochoy, you say the word Emes again. Omar Rabbi Bo, Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says Choyzavoy me Emes, you say the word Emes again. Rabbi Omar Eino Choyzavoy me Emes, and that's how we pass them. Hahut the Nochas Kamei Rabba. Shomei Rabba Goma Emes Preizimni. Rabbi heard this fellow, he was saying Emes twice. Omar, so of course Rabbi held he shouldn't. So he said, Omar Rabbi said, call Emes, Topsei Lahai. He likes the word Emes, that's why he's saying it again and again, but you don't need it. Omar Rabbi Yosef. How beautiful is this statement in learning? Dechi Oser Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda, Omar, Omri B'Marova Arvis, in Eretz Yisrael, when they say Krishma by night, they used to say just the first Pasuk, Dabel B'nei Yisrael V'Martu Alehem, and they used to miss out the whole Parsha of Tzitzis there, and they used to just say the end, Ani Hashem Elokeichem Emes. That's all they used to say. Why? Because they held that there's no mitzvah of Tzitzis by night, so they held there's no reason to say the whole Parsha of Tzitzis. So they only mentioned the beginning and the end of the Parsha. Omar Abaya, my Malusa, what's so good about it? V'Omar Rav Kana, Omar Rav. Rav said, Lo Yaschil. If you want, you don't need to start the Parsha of Hayomi by night. V'im Hiskel Goymer. If you start the Parsha, you have to finish it off. If you want to say that since they just said V'Mal Taleim till V'Mal Taleim, it's not called starting off the Parsha of Tzitzis because they haven't mentioned the word Tzitzis. V'Omar Rav Shmuel Bar Yitzchak Omar Rav, another place Rav said Dabei B'nei Yisrael Lo Yavas Chola. If they just said the words Dabei B'nei Yisrael, they don't need to finish it off. But if they said as well V'Mal Taleim Havas Chola, it's called that they started the Parsha of Tzitzis and they have to finish it. Omar Papa, Ksavim B'Marova in Eretz Yisrael, they held that V'Mal Taleim Nami Lo Yavas Chola. It's not called starting the Parsha Ad Do'ama V'Osulem Tzitzis. Until they mention the word Tzitzis, only then it's called the start of the Parsha of Tzitzis and they have to finish it off. Since they didn't mention Tzitzis, they don't need to finish it. Omar Abaya, so Abaya says, Hilkoch, Anom Aschuli Mischalinon, we start off the Parsha of Hayomi, the Komas V'Chim B'Marova, because in Eretz Yisrael they also start it off. Since we started, we finish it off already. You don't need to start it. You have to finish the whole Parsha. Chiyah says, if you said the words Ani Hashem Elokeichem, you have to say Emes as well, like we said before, because of the Pasuk Hashem Elokim Emes. Lo Oman Yeshua Lekeichem, Ein Torah Chlem Emes. According to him, if you didn't say Ani Yeshua Lekeichem, you can miss out the whole bracha of Emes V'Emunah. That's not like we paskin. Freit Gemara, boy, at Kuriya Tzis Mitzrayim. How can you finish? How can you miss out the whole pasuk of Ani Yeshua Lekeichem Emes? You have to mention Mitzrayim. We learned already in early sukyos. We have to mention Mitzrayim even by night. Says the Gemara, Enochanami. It doesn't mean he missed out Mitzrayim completely. He just said a different nusach. He said, Omaochi, Moidem Melachnu Lecho, Hashem Alekeinu, Shoitzisonu Be'eretz Mitzrayim, Uvdisonu Beis Avodim, Vosisolonu Vissim Gurus Alayom, V'Shaunu Lecho. And then he says, Michamoicho Be'elem Hashem. So he's mentioned Mitzrayim, so he's got the mitzvah of Yitzis Mitzrayim, but the parsha of Tzitzis says it's by night. They didn't mention. Omar Rabbi Shua ben Korcha Lama Kodma Parsha Shema. Rabbi Shua ben Korcha explained to the Mishnah the order of the parshas in Krishma. Tanya, Rabbi Shimon ben Yechoy Omer. Rabbi Shimon says a different reason. Bedin hu sheyakdim Shema leV'hoyim Shemoya. It's correct to say Shema before V'hoyim Shemoya. Shezel Lilmoid, because in the first parsha in V'hafto it says V'dibartu Bom, which is me learning Torah. V'zel Elamed, and the second parsha it says V'limadetem Moiseh B'Smenechem, which is teaching Torah, and that comes second. And also it's correct to say V'hoyim Shemoya leV'hayoyma before V'hayoyme, Shezel Lilmoid, because it's got Torah in there. V'zel Asos, and V'hayoyma of Tzitzis is doing mitzvahs which comes after Limud HaTorah. Freidi Gemara, Atu Shema Lilmoid Isbei. You want to see in the first parsha, just say it says about learning Torah. Lelamed V'lasos Lesbei. And teaching and doing mitzvahs doesn't say. But it says V'shinantom levanecho. It says V'shinantom, which means teaching. And it says Ukshaltom and it says Uksavtom. So you got the mitzvahs and the teaching and the learning. Says the Gemara, V'su, another kasha. V'hoyim Shemoya lelamedu de Isbei. You want to say in the second parsha, it's only talking about teaching. V'lasos Lesbei. There's no mitzvahs there. V'hoksiv Ukshaltom Uksavtom. This is what you meant to say. It's correct to say Shema before V'hoyim Shemoya, because that's got all of the three things in. Lilmoid or Lamed V'lasos, learning and teaching and doing mitzvahs. And V'hoyim Shemoya leV'hayoyme, you should say first V'hoyim Shemoya before V'hayoyme. Yes, bo leLamed V'lasos, because V'hoyim Shemoya has got about teaching and doing mitzvahs. But V'hayoyme ain't bo elo lasos bilvad. The parsha V'hayoyme has only got about doing mitzvahs. Why was he looking for new reasons? What's the problem with the reason in the Mishnah that Rabbi Shua ben Korcha gave? Says the Gemara Nechlami, Chada Void Koma. He just wants to mention another reason. The first reason is like we mentioned in the Mishnah, like we just mentioned. Rav Moshe Yodei, Rav used to wash his hands, the Korah Kriyishma, and then he said Kriyishma, va'anach tefillin, and he put on tefillin, v'tzoli, and then he said Shemona Esra. How did Rav do that? Tanya. We learned to Brisa. Somebody who's busy digging a grave for a dead person, for Labaya. Potomi Kriyishma is busy doing a mitzvah. So he's part of a Kriyishma, uminat tefillin, umikol mitzvahs amuris b'Torah. He's part of all the mitzvahs. Higias man Kriyishma. If it came at the time of Krishma, an oiler, he should go out of the grave quickly. The notil yodov, wash his hands, or meniach tefillin, v'kura Krishma, or mispalel. So we see you should put tefillin on before Krishma. The Brisa says. Why did Rav say Krishma before you put on tefillin? Says the Gemara. Anyway, this Brisa is shver. Hagufi kasher, the reisha potel. The first part of the Brisa you said that he's potel all the mitzvahs, and the sefer, and the end of the Brisa somebody say you should go out of the grave and say Krishma. Chayev. Says the Gemara. No, holoi kasher. That's not shver. Sefer betray. The end of the Brisa is talking about two people are digging the grave. So you've left one person carrying on, so you can go upstairs and say Krishma in the meantime. The Reisha Bechad, the beginning of the Brisa is only one person, so he's completely potter. In all cases, we've still got a kasha Rav. Why did Rav say Krishma first and put on tefillin afterwards? We know from the Brisa you have to put on tefillin first. Says Gemara, Rav can be sure men korchos svirule. Rav's held like the Mishnah which says, Doma, Ol Malchus Shemaim Tchilo. First you have to do Ol Malchus Shemaim, which is Kriyishma, Ol Mitzvahs, and then the yoke of Mitzvahs, which is putting on tefillin. For eating Gemara, Eimet Omer B'Shum and Korcha, the whole din of the Mishnah of B'Shum Korcha is only L'Haktiv Kriya L'Kriya. He's only saying the order of Krishma, which parsha to say first. Of a Kriya L'Asiyah Mishameslei. Did he say that he didn't say you should say Krishma without tefillin? The Su. Anyway, we see that he doesn't hold a Rabbi Shua Korcha. Because we were standing in front of Rav, he was washing his hands, and he said Birkas HaTorah, on Pirkin, and he said a shir first, and only afterwards, man of tefillin, he put on tefillin, and the Korah Krishma. So you see, anyway, he gave a shir before davening, before Ol Malchus Shamayim. So anyway, he argues with Rabbi Shua ben Korcha, if you're learning that he means the Seder of the mitzvahs. If you're saying that the reason why he gave a share first is because the time of Krishma didn't come yet, so what's the big testifying of Rav Chia bar Ashi that he's saying that we saw Rav giving a share first? Anyway, the time of Krishma didn't come yet. No, that's not Kasha, says the Gemara. Because his testifying is coming to tell us that to exclude the opinion which we learned before in the earlier sugyas, if you remember, we had an opinion that just when you learn just Mishnah, you don't need to make Birkas HaTorah. The opinion says there, they're only for Psukim. So Rav Chia bar Ashi was testifying in the name of Rav that the Afle Mishnah, even if you're giving a share Mishnahis or Gemara, you also have to make Birkas HaTorah. That is the testifying. But Mikol Mokom Kasha Rav. Lamaisa, we've got a Kasha on Rav, the first Kasha, that Lamaisa he put on, he said Krishma before he put on Tefillin. And then the second story we just brought from Rav, we see that he put on Tefillin before Krishma. It says, of course Rav holds you have to put on Tefillin before you say Krishma. But Shlucha Huda Avis, the messenger who was supposed to bring him his Tefillin, came late. And Rav was scared he's going to miss the Zman Krishma. So he said Krishma straight away without Tefillin. And that's how he passed. And the person can say, if you're scared that the time of Krishma is going to go away, you shouldn't wait to put on Tefillin. Anybody who says Kriyashma without Tefillin, it's testifying lie. He's lying because it says in Kriyashma, it says in Kriyashma you put on Tefillin, and he's not putting on Tefillin. That's why you have to be particular to put on the Tefillin before the mitzvah of Kriyashma. Somebody who says Kriyashma without Tefillin, it's like he bought a korban without the mincha. In other words, he hasn't done the proper mitzvah. Somebody wants to do the proper mitzvah of Kriyashma. First he should go to be excused, and he should wash his hands, then first put on Tefillin, he should say Kriyashma v'yispalel and he should daven. That is the proper Kabbalah's oil Malchus Shamayim. Lamaisa, the poskim say that somebody who wants to catch the first man Kriyashma of the Moed Avraham, and he's davening a minion of the second man Kriyashma, then he can say the Kriyashma without Tefillin the first time before davening. That's what Rav Chaim Kanievsky also says in the Sefer Das Noita, that he should make a Tanai, that if he can make a condition even, that even if this is the real time, then I want to do this mitzvah now, and if not, I really want to be Yotze later on like the Gaon with Tefillin. But preferably, if you can come early, of course it's always better to say Kriyashma with Tefillin. It's only if you're going to miss the Zman Kriyashma, then of course you shouldn't wait till the Tefillin come. Thank you very much. Kol Tov.